A new engine called Mandy arrived at the sheds. "It's nice to meet you," said Mandy. "This is my first time here." "It's nice to meet you too," said Sam. "There's a thunderstorm coming tonight," warned Mandy, and all the engines were asleep after Mandy had gone. Their axles were resting. Dwee and Sasha were asleep. Then, a big thunderstorm rolled in. Thunder flashed and lightning crashed. The wind was very strong. "Listen to the storm," Claudia said. "I know," said Dwee. When dawn began to break, Mr. Cakester had a job for Becky. 95 freight cars have to be delivered to Oakwood," he said. "Becky, I want you to do it." "Thank you, sir, I will," said Becky. And she steamed out of the sheds. Then there was a rainbow in the sky. "Bust my buffers," puffed Becky. "It's pretty." "I'm here to collect 95 freight cars." And then she shunted the freight cars into place. "I wonder what's at the end of the rainbow," said Becky. "I have to find out." And then she chuffed through the countryside with her load. It was long. The colors were gorgeous. "I like the lovely rainbow," Becky said. "It's pretty in the sky." Because last night's rain had done a lot of damage. Then there was a work truck cleaning up the storm damage. Becky was looking at the rainbow for a long time, and some work women and men were working on the tracks cleaning up the storm damage, but Becky was unaware. When she entered South Flatport, the people heard Becky coming. Her driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. Fire raged and raged non-stop. It was violent. Becky was inside the house. Becky's driver and fireman called the fire department. "This is counterproductive," coughed Becky. "I've never been in such a crash like this." Then the fire engine came along. And then the fire began to go out. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the freight cars derailed, but some stayed upright. And Becky had gone right into the living room of a house, and the lives inside were lost with all their bodily liquids and fluid, and the truck was on its side. It was gross. And then Alexia pulled Becky back onto the rails. Becky was smelling really bad. "You're almost there, Becky," Alexia said. And at last, Becky was back on the rails. "Thank you," she said. Then Alexia had to do Becky's work. "I love the rainbow," puffed Alexia. "It's lovely." And it was. It was hanging over the sky with all the colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, purple. Roy G. Biv. Alexia loved the rainbow in the sky. 'Cause the storm damage was getting cleaned up. And Alexia pulled 95 freight cars all on her own. It was a long train, but she carried on. The freight cars were loaded with all the products, and they were back in the rail cars as Alexia carried them down the line. It was a long line of freight cars, but she carried them along the tracks with all of her might. As the rainbow hung in the sky, she was enjoying herself.